There's a reason the BMW 635CSi is remembered differently from every other coupe of its era, and most people who talk about this car completely miss it. Hold on to your seats, because once you see what really sets the 635CSi apart, you'll never look at a BMW the same way again. The oil crisis of the 1970s made big engines a scary proposition. By the time BMW launched the E24 in 1976, regulations and market pressures were tightening, but they still believed people wanted a proper Grand Tourer, something that mixed long-distance comfort with the kind of punch that kept BMW's sporting badge alive. That's exactly the gap the 635CSi stepped into, bridging BMW's grand touring heritage with a new era of design and performance. The shark nose said it all. A front end that leaned forward, an endless hood, a roofline that sat low, and a stance so purposeful it looked fast even at a standstill. It was built on the same base as the 5 Series, but in execution it stood on its own level as a more luxurious, driver-focused coupe. The 635CSi was pitched as a proper driver's coupe, with luxury leather inside, but under the hood, it was a straight six that made long drives feel alive. The BMW didn't market it as a sports car, and it wasn't trying to be a limo. So how did people react? Pretty well. Especially the type of people who could afford one. It stood toe-to-toe with rivals like the Mercedes-Benz SLC and even the futuristic Porsche 928, and owners loved that it felt modern without losing the brand's driver-first DNA. Over time, the 635CSi became more than just a nice option in BMW's lineup. It turned into the 6 Series people remembered, the perfect representation of BMW's ultimate driving machine, slogan, and coupe form. By the end of the 1980s, if you wanted to point at one car and say, that's peak BMW Grand Touring, it was the 635CSi. Before the shark nose coupe of the 70s, there was the E9, then chrome pillars, delicate glass house, and body lines so clean they looked sketched with a single stroke. That design DNA didn't vanish. Instead, BMW carried it into the 6 Series and refined it. The E24's proportions, long hood and short rear, were straight out of the E9 playbook, just with sharper edges and more muscle. And here's where the E9 really punched above its weight: racing. The 3.0 CSL, nicknamed the Batmobile for its outrageous wings and aero kit, wasn't just a fast coupe. It was a car that cemented BMW in the Motorsports Hall of Fame. But for all its beauty and racing glory, the E9 wasn't flawless. Safety standards were catching up, and the car wasn't exactly bulletproof in a crash. Weight distribution wasn't ideal either, and emission rules in the U.S. exposed the E9's old-school engineering. It was a fantastic design for the 60s, but the world was moving fast, and BMW needed a coupe that could survive tougher laws, faster rivals, and a pickier luxury market. The 635CSi didn't just sit still in the showroom. In 1982, BMW gave it a major update: cleaner aerodynamics, new bumpers, and an upgraded interior that pushed it deeper into the premium league. Engines got stronger too, more powerful, better fuel delivery, quicker throttle response. It was the same shark nose coupe, but trimmed and turned to stay relevant against hungrier rivals. Then came the nuclear option. BMW dropped in a version of the M1's straight six, the M88-3 in Europe, and the emissions-tuned S38 in the US, creating the M635CSi or M6, depending on market. Suddenly, the elegant Grand Tourer had supercar DNA under its hood, and this wasn't just a fast 6 Series. It was the start of a tradition of high-performance luxury coupes with motorsport engines. By the late 80s, the world wanted something flashier, and that's where the 8 Series came in. The raw shark nose aggression was replaced with a wedge-shaped spaceship with pop-up headlights, V12 engines, and electronic trickery. The E31 wasn't trying to be a spiritual twin of the 635CSi. It was BMW flexing. We can do a luxury flagship coupe too. More luxury, less grit, more prestige, less visceral driving feel. And yet, the 635 CSI shadow never left. Every big coupe BMW built afterward carried pieces of its DNA. The balance of sport and luxury came straight from the E24, and the long hood Grand Tourer that still delivered real driving engagement was the 635 CSI's gift. Even the modern 6 Series and 8 Series echoed that formula, combining comfort and tech but always leaving room for the driver to feel in control. In the early 80s, BMW homologated the 635 CSI for Group A touring car racing. That meant stripping down the plush interior, stiffening the suspension, and letting the straight six sing at full tilt. The result was a coupe that could bully lighter sedans around a racetrack. The 635 CSI's battleground was the European Touring Car Championship, where it fought Mercedes, Ford, and Volvo. It wasn't a DTM regular, but the role went to the later E30 M3. Watching a long-bodied luxury coupe chase down boxing competitors was something special. The car's size should have been a handicap, but its balance and straight-line punch made it a nightmare for rivals. Some serious names put their faith in the car. Teams like Schnitzer and Eggenberger ran the 635 CSI, turning it into a factory-backed weapon. Drivers like Hans-Joachim Stuck and Dieter Quester took wins in the 635 CSI, while future BMW legends like Roberto Ravaglia also made appearances with it before moving to the E30 M3. BMW could sell the 635 CSI as a luxury Grand Tourer Monday through Friday, then show it annihilating rivals on Sunday. That dual image, refined coupe for the road, razor for the track, and what set it apart from rivals. Now we're not just talking about the BMW 635 CSI as history, we've actually got one sitting in our workshop right now, a proper Grand Tourer from 1988. This coupe wasn't just luxury with a badge. Under the endless hood sits the M30 B35 straight six, 211 horsepower, enough to push past 230 kilometers an hour. Ours came with an automatic, but still carrying the raw inline six soul. And the mission is a full restoration, not just a polish job, but a complete teardown. The owner, who's a die-hard 6 Series fan, owning a few of them, tried to restore one with another garage, but that didn't end well. Then he found us, a crew of gearheads who live for this and are dedicated to bring out the beauty in every job, just like the BMW deserves. This time it's different. Every bolt, every weld, every seam is being rebuilt to a standard that even the factory would envy. Take originality preserved, but with subtle upgrades to make it more reliable, more comfortable, and more enjoyable for the long haul. So, where are we now? The car's been stripped to bare metal. We hit it with advanced wet blasting, stripping away the rust, paint, and every sketchy old repair. Now our partners at Garage 22 are on it, bringing the battered body back to life, one panel at a time. Transmission's already out, overhauled by specialists who know these gearboxes inside and out. The engine has been fully disassembled, machined, and rebuilt, with the crankshaft, cylinder head, and block all getting a new lease on life. When it's done, it'll be one of the cleanest 635 CSIs out there. A car built to drive, not just to look at. So if you want to see this shark-nosed coupe reborn step by step, follow our channel. We're documenting the whole process, and the next chapter is going to be wild. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.